University.
A couple is trying to get a class action lawsuit against Carnival Cruise Lines in Miami. It was filed by Matt and Melissa Cruzan of Oklahoma. The suit seeks to represent the more than 3,000 passengers who were on the Triumph when the fire broke out nearly 2 weeks ago. A judge has to approve the motion to grant class action status. Live local late-breaking news right now, a major development in a deadly hit-and-run investigation.
Who deputies say they know who's behind the wheel of a Jeep that hit and killed a local teacher.
The city of Riviera Beach is calling legal backup for a major mayor mishap, the possible fate of 3 candidates.
A second house squatting case, this time on the Treasure Coast. Wait until you hear who helped those squatters move in.
And migrants come ashore, why they cause quite a scare for some people living in the area. Plus, a man's strange arrest.
What he told deputies about a woman he found and the link to reincarnation.
Covering South Florida, from the Palm Beaches to Boca Raton and the Treasure Coast, this is WPBF 25 News at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Tiffany Kenny.
I'm Todd McDermott. Live local late-breaking news from Loxahatchee. A woman waiting to be charged in a deadly hit-and-run. Investigators say she hit and killed a local teacher. Terry Parker just talked with the attorney for the woman who deputies say is responsible. Terry?
And this is where that 25-year-old woman lives. Megan Mathis approached the sheriff's office through her attorney on Sunday and turned over her blue Jeep Liberty, the car that was involved in the crash, and she admitted that she was the driver in that crash. It happened right near where she lives, just past that stop sign a few blocks south. Now, the sheriff's office says Mathis's attorney sent them a 3-line letter saying she lived near the crash, she was driving that car that night, and was at the wheel. Her attorney, Scott Suskauer, tells me she came forward of her own volition and admits she was behind the wheel. Paul Levinsky was the victim, a special education teacher in Belle Glade, who would have turned 48 a few days after she was killed. Witnesses found her on the side of the road around 9 p.m. last Wednesday night. She died at the scene from her injuries. Detectives say a blue Jeep Liberty hit her from behind and then left the scene. They put out a picture of a car that resembled the Jeep and said the one they were looking for probably had front end damage and was likely here in the Loxahatchee area. Mathis's lawyer tells me that this is a tragic event for everyone concerned. He says that Mathis is still living here in Loxahatchee and is expecting the state attorney's office to file charges in the very near future. He says she will be available to answer those charges when they are filed. Live in Loxahatchee, I'm Terry Parker, WPBF 25 News.
Squatters moved into a vacant home on the Treasure Coast, and police say a mom helped them do it. They targeted a home on Southeast Oxmoor Terrace in Port St. Lucie. That's where Angela Rozier is live on this second case of squatting in our area. Angela?
Well, Tiffany, this door is locked right now, but that didn't stop folks from moving in a few weeks ago, and the homeowner says she never gave anyone permission to move in.
I don't think anyone should be called squatters or trespassers or anything like that. I feel if the home is vacant, someone needs a home, why not?
Maria Volo says she helped her daughter, Angela Crawford, her boyfriend, and their 5-month-old child move in about a month ago.
They're paying the bills, taking care of everything, making it look like your neighborhood is nice again.
She says her daughter told her she made contact with the homeowner, Karen Zerger, on Facebook and was told she could move in if she fixed the place up. But the homeowner tells us she doesn't know anything about that.
They talked to me on Facebook. Never.
Email?
Never emailed. I never talked to her. I've seen her around when I used to live here. She was a little teenager. And now, you know, her mom's like, oh no, we talked to you.
I have an email that she sent her, like, hey, she wrote her, hey, this is Ange. I don't know if you remember me. I live down the street from you. I'd like to take care of your house and set it up for you and, you know, just repair it. You know, if that's cool with you. And she told me she answered her, so that's between them.
Zerger says she contacted the police and they were told they had to leave. She gave us a tour of the home. She says it's been vacant for a while and needed some work before she could rent it out again.
That is not my son's name. That is their son's name. Like, it was their house. I saw that and I cried. So I was like, how dare you think this was your house and live here rent free?
And the homeowner also tells us that at no time, again, that she give anyone permission to move in here. Police were back out here today. The people who are here, they are accused of trespassing, but we're also learning that they could be facing burglary charges. Reporting live in Port St. Lucie, Angela Rozier, WPBF 25 News.
That is a wild story, Angela. Thank you. Did it sound familiar at all? Because earlier this month, Bank of America kicked out those squatters from that $2.5 million mansion in Boca Raton.
The squatters had been living there free for a couple of months. Boca Raton police broke into the mansion after the state attorney gave them the go-ahead to pursue a trespassing investigation. And the people who live in the neighborhood were so happy the squatters were kicked out, they threw a party after weeks of television cameras and onlookers finally left them alone. They sent us this video showing the party to celebrate. All right, they're all in unison, too, in that line dance. Well done. Well, right now we're waiting for a decision involving a local mayor and 2 others running against him.
Speaking of being in unison here, the mayoral mishap surrounds 3 candidates' signatures. The decision is going to determine whether or not they'll even be on the ballot of the March election. Randy Gyllenhaal is live in Riviera Beach with continuing coverage on this. Randy, the latest, please.
I just spoke to a city official here. He tells me we probably won't even get a decision until at the earliest tomorrow, which means the 3 names here on the March ballot, just a few weeks away, still don't know if they're technically eligible to run. The city clerk was supposed to tell us around 5 o'clock. She hired a private outside counsel, but she has gone home for the day and said that counsel has not given her a decision on this matter yet. The problem is mainly affecting the mayoral race. All 3 candidates, including incumbent mayor Thomas Masters, made the same paperwork mistake when filing their election paperwork. It leaves the city in a strange spot because technically their applications to run are invalid, but if they're all ruled ineligible, the city has nobody running for mayor. So now they're waiting to hear from a private law firm that they hired to review this issue.
The city did retain outside counsel. That is to eliminate all perceptions of any bias in this matter. And so what outside counsel has been doing is reviewing the entire situation, and they are to come back and make recommendations to our city clerk.
And you know, it's a minor technicality, but it is causing a pretty big problem here at City Hall. So now the city clerk has to either decide to let those candidates run even though their applications are invalid, or the city of Riviera Beach would basically not have anybody running for mayor, and that would bring them into some uncharted waters. We're going to bring you the decision as soon as we get it. For now, we're live in Riviera Beach. Randy Gyllenhaal, WPBF 25 News.
Florida State University's digital arts program is leaving West Palm Beach. FSU's film animation program will leave West Palm for Tallahassee. The Board of Governors made the decision this afternoon. West Palm Beach Mayor Jerry Moyo tried to save the program, which was supposed to be in partnership with the now bankrupt Digital Domain.
Deputies say a 17-year-old told them he's glad he got caught and arrested for bringing a gun to school. Samuel Nevers, a student at Palm Beach Lakes Community High School in West Palm Beach. Investigators say he was in the school when he was caught with a .40 caliber semi-automatic in his pocket. Now, according to police, Nevers said he stole the gun and intended to use it. Here's a quote from the police report. When asked why he brought the gun to school, Nevers told me that some guy off campus is always trying him when he's in the community. Nevers said he was glad he got caught because he was going to kill the person. Nevers is now charged as an adult. He's currently in the Palm Beach County Jail, charged with possession of a firearm on school property.
Developing now, close to a dozen migrants are in custody after coming ashore near Boca Raton this morning. This turned into a scary situation for some of the people who live in the condos nearby. Kathleen O'Toole is live in the studio to explain that. Kathleen?
Tiffany, people on the run, a condo lockdown, drivers stopped at gunpoint. That's all after the Coast Guard keyed in on a boat suspected of smuggling human cargo.
They must have come in from the inlets.
Craig Mewman was working on the seawall along the Intracoastal in Boca when something looked fishy.
It was kind of funny when they came in. They came under the bridge, and there was 3 girls sitting underneath on the back of the boat, and they were waving to the bridge tender, which I thought was weird because I guess they must have been trying to act normal.
Migrants came through the Boca Inlet before 10, and Mewman says a man was on the dock to greet them.
And then all of a sudden, people just started coming out of the bottom of the boat like ants. I was like, oh, that isn't right. And then it dawned on me that they were smuggling these people.
The boaters took off. This truck was spotted up the road in Boca where witnesses saw 4 people in handcuffs. And the scene was even more dramatic farther north in Highland Beach, where 2 of what agents call illegal aliens broke into the Trafalgar condominiums. You can see heavily armed officers approaching the building on lockdown. You can see them on the balcony, waging a condo by condo search, eventually finding a man and woman hiding on the 5th floor.
I was told to stop by cops that were outside their cars, some of them not in uniforms, and they had guns in their hands, and I was, handguns, and I've never seen a cop with his weapon outside his holsters.
As soon as they left, all the federal agents, the bridge was up because there was a dive boat going out, so they couldn't get across. So they were screaming at the guy to close the bridge.
The day certainly one of a kind for Mumin.
What was their demeanor?
They seemed in a hurry.
Now, we're told the investigation now focuses on who was the smuggler among the 11 they have in custody and whether more people are on the run. Reporting live in the studio, Kathleen O'Toole, WPBF 25 News.
A man from South Florida is facing charges tonight in a $12 million ripoff scheme.
Federal investigators say Frankie Anderson of Miami was behind a $12 million identity theft, tax refund fraud scheme. They say Anderson got thousands of tax refund checks that weren't his. Detectives say he then used the money to buy 2 homes, one for himself, another for his mother. They say he also bought 8 high-priced luxury cars. If you're about to file your taxes, there's something you should know. Florida ranks #1 in stolen identity tax fraud. The IRS says Florida ID thieves will rake in $26 billion this year. Local tax preparers say they have dozens of victims already. It starts when the thieves get a hold of your Social Security number, your name and address, and then file a fake return.
What they would do is they would file them early in the year, so when we actually filed the person's tax return, we would get a rejection notice that says this person's Social Security number has been utilized already.
The IRS suggests filing early before anybody else can do it fraudulently, and never give out your Social Security number over the phone. If you haven't done your taxes yet, we have some good tips before you get started. Our web team has posted a very helpful slideshow at WPBF.com. You can find the most overlooked tax deductions right there on our homepage.
A Port St. Lucie teenager is accused of beating his father with a bat and a wooden stick. Police say 17-year-old Samuel Bloom admitted to beating his father while the two of them were drinking on Valentine's Day. Police say this is the stick the teen used to attack his father. They also found the bat, which was covered in blood. Neither the teen nor his father explained what started the fight. His father is going to need facial reconstructive surgery. A beer bottle landed a Lake Worth man in jail.
Palm Beach County Sheriff's deputies say Mark Medeiros threw a full bottle of Heineken at deputies Tuesday night. They had tried to stop him on the street, and they say Medeiros also threw a punch at one of the officers. He's in jail tonight.
It's now 10 minutes after 6. Let's get a check if you drive home. This is a look at North Lake Boulevard and I-95. Traffic moving along nicely in both directions, although it is pretty heavy out there. And here's a live look at Glades Road and the Turnpike in Boca Raton, where traffic is also moving smoothly. Let's take a look at your drive times on I-95 from Jupiter to Boca Raton, about an hour and 14 minutes. Slow going. Also from Boca to Jupiter, about an hour 23 minutes. And this is a drive on the Turnpike southbound from Martin County down to Palm Beach Gardens. You can see it is green all the way. No major delays on the Florida Turnpike tonight. You can beat the traffic anytime by going to WPBF.com. And let's get a look at gas prices in Florida. AAA says the national average is now $3.78. The state average $3.88. In Palm Beach County, it's $3.98. AAA does not list average prices for any communities on the Treasure Coast. Just ahead, why deputies arrested a man over the issue of reincarnation.
Plus, where a memorial will be held in about a half hour for a woman who accidentally shot herself to death and caught on camera. Sure, more of this video police want you to take a good look at. How police say 2 men teamed up to rob a local convenience store.
And Todd, weather-wise toasty warm today, and we're getting even warmer as we head toward the weekend. Here's a live look at outside our weather window. The First Alert Skycam network showing Treasure Coast, just a couple of clouds. I'm Mike Lyons here at the First Alert Weather Center. My forecast coming up.
This Saturday from 8:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. Get a free iPad with every new Saturday. Free iPad with every new Toyota at Ed Moore's Delray Toyota. You're watching watching WPBF 25 News at 6 with Tiffany Kenny, Todd McDermott, and Mike Lyons with your WPBF 25 First Alert Forecast. Your local news continues now.
An overheated AC unit caused quite a commotion today at the Gardens Mall. Firefighters were called to the Gap this afternoon for reports of smoke. The store was closed as a precaution. The AC was overheated. Nobody was hurt. The police have arrested 4 suspects after several robberies on the Treasure Coast. The suspects were actually caught in Georgia.
Investigators say the suspects might have been involved with the robbery at the GameStop in Vero Beach. The video game store was held up this week. An employee was tied up with a computer cord. The men arrested in Georgia were driving a car that matches the description of one that was seen outside the GameStop. Police in Boynton Beach are looking for 2 men that they say robbed a 7-Eleven at gunpoint. This happened last Friday.
Police say surveillance video shows the suspects went into the store about 3:30 last Friday morning on Woolbright Road. One stayed at the front door, the other walked behind the counter and demanded the cash from the clerk. The suspects took an undisclosed amount of cash and left in an older model white Chevy minivan. A man faces charges tonight after deputies say he went to a woman's home in Royal Palm Beach because he thinks she is the reincarnation of a woman he loved. Jamel Walters was arrested. Investigators say he went to a woman's home Tuesday night. Deputies say Walters had a gun and threatened to shoot the door open if the woman didn't open it. Walters says he and the woman are psychics. The woman denies that. Walters was taken to the Palm Beach County Jail.
Updating you now on a story that we first brought you last night. Deputies say Crystal Caruso accidentally shot herself to death in Royal Palm Beach yesterday. There will be a memorial tonight. It begins at 6:45 in the yard of the home where she shot herself to death. That's on Swan Parkway West in Royal Palm Beach. How much do you pay for wireless phone service? $100 a month, maybe $200?
Maybe you don't want to say. New tonight at 11, cutting your cell phone bill in half. We put the low-cost promises to the truth test. We'll tell you exactly what you get for the low price and if the service will work for you.
You're seeing a real difference.
Oh yes,
from month to month.
Yes, it's been a big. It has saved over $1,000 just in this year alone.
$1,000. All new tonight at 11.
Mike's here now, and we're all talking about this storm that's moving through the Midwest. Kansas is just getting slammed right now. It's unbelievable what we're seeing.
Yeah, it's a good old-fashioned blizzard. Gusty winds, 40, even 50 miles per hour. Snow coming down at the rate of 1 to 2 inches an hour. They could get a couple feet. Meanwhile, back here at home, can it get any better?
It was awesome. I was at the zoo today with a bunch of first graders, and the weather was perfect.
And how was the behavior
of the
first graders?
I thought you said a bunch of animals.
I jokingly came to work and said I was chaperoning the animals who were looking at the animals at the zoo.
2 late animals.
It was fun. We had another friend and I had all the boys in the class, so they were a little excited about the day.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
We're glad you made it in.
Let's begin, guys, with a look at some of the snow that's associated with that big winter storm. You know, it started in California over the weekend, went through parts of Arizona yesterday, disrupted the golf tournament that's taking place not far from Tucson. In fact, there's the snow coming down at the Accenture Match Play Championship. And watch how the green turns white because of the heavy snow now moving through parts of the upper Midwest. And again, they could get parts, maybe 2 feet in parts of that part of the country, especially Nebraska and Kansas. All right, let's begin with a look back here at home. The sun setting on another spectacular day, mostly sunny skies. Look at the temperatures today. We were in the 80s, 81 our high temperature, normal high about 77, morning low 61 degrees. Right now, skies mostly clear, as you saw with our sky cams, and temperatures we're in the mid-range of the 70, 75, a popular number in Palm Beach County and parts of the Treasure Coast. Port St. Lucie 74, Okeechobee 75, Belle Glade about 77 degrees. Skies are clear. We continue to see high pressure kind of dominating the weather, and it will continue to control our weather tomorrow, Saturday, and most of Sunday before we start to see a trough arrive the first part of next week. That could give us a few showers, especially Monday and Tuesday, and then turning a little bit cooler toward the middle part of next week. But tonight, we're looking good with skies mostly clear and nice and mild temperatures expected during the overnight hours, 60s for most of the Treasure Coast and Palm Beach County. Out west, a little bit cooler with temperatures around Lake Okeechobee in the mid-50s. Then tomorrow, mostly sunny skies once again. and toasty warm. Temperatures upper 70s and low 80s. A little bit warmer over inland areas with temperatures in the low range of the 80s. Your beach, your boating forecast looking good. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Inland waters a light chop. First alert 7-day forecast. Really the only bump in the road for the next couple of days. A bit of patchy fog early tomorrow, mostly west of I-95 and the Turnpike. It burns off quickly by 8:30. Warm, breezy throughout the day and very nice on your Friday night. Saturday, again, some fog over inland areas, sunny and mild in the afternoon. And as we head towards Saturday night, very, very pleasant. Sunday continues to look good. Mostly sunny skies, warm in the low 80s. But the first part of next week got some showers in the mix. And then by Wednesday and Thursday, Tiffany and Todd, we cool it down just a bit.
Mike, thank you. Some employees at Universal Studios Orlando will soon lose their health care coverage.
The theme park says it is dropping medical coverage for part-time workers next year. Right now, those workers are offered a limited insurance plan known as Mini-Med. Those types of plans are not allowed under President Obama's health care overhaul.
Just ahead to see where a new restaurant is now open and what it has to offer in Palm Beach County.
But first, all new tonight at 11, Donald Trump is mad after somebody hacked into his Twitter account. The scandalous message somebody posted before they were caught. And here's how the day on Wall Street ended. I'm Tiffany Kenny with Todd McDermott. You're watching WPBF 25 News.
Coming up on World News, we're going to give everyone a lot more on this huge snowstorm. 60 million Americans out there tonight. We'll take you into the heart of a blizzard, show you how quickly it descends and what you should have in your car to stay safe.
Live local late-breaking coverage on WPBF 25 News Mornings.
Only one dealer has new. Only one. Only Brayman Honda. This week, drive with 0 down and 0% financing. #1 in Palm Beach for a reason. New Civics, $149 a month at Brayman Honda.
You're watching WPBF 25 News at 6.
There is a new restaurant in West Palm Beach.
If you haven't eaten dinner, you're about to feel hungry because it's a city place. And I'm about to read the menu. Brio Tuscan Grill opened today on South Rosemary Avenue. There's also Brio Tuscan Grill in Palm Beach Gardens and other locations around Florida. The restaurant serves Italian cuisine, including steaks, yes, chops, yes, seafood, yes, pastas, flatbreads and entrees, salads even. I'm Todd McDermott with Tiffany Kenny. You're watching WPBF 25 News.
Watch Tiffany Kenny and Todd McDermott for live local late-breaking coverage. Mullinax Sports.
For just $24,827 and save $9,100. Get all this equipment for $24,827 and never pay a dealer fee. That's Mullinax.
All right, we're going to take you to the Shelby State, St. Louis. Live pictures of the big blizzard that continues to move through. St. Louis has picked up 5 inches of snow just in the last couple of hours.
Wow.
More coming down as that blizzard continues. Diane Sawyer and ABC News. They're going to talk more about that in a couple minutes. Meanwhile, back here at home, it's lovely 80s through the weekend.
I think those people are driving south out of Missouri as quickly as possible.
We'll see you back here at 11, everyone.
Closed captioning sponsored by Boca Raton Regional Hospital. Out of control cell phone bills. Could prepaid plans be the answer to cut your bills in half? We put the low-cost promises to the test. Exactly what you get for the low price, and will it work for you?